What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to be talking about one of, well, rather sadly, one of the few Transformers TCG character cards from Wave 4 that we've not actually had a chat about yet. But don't worry, well, there will be plenty more Transformers videos, don't you worry your pretty little head about it. Now, we've seen Soundwave quite a lot, but today it is the turn of the similarly named but not to be confused with Sergeant Soundblaster. And as a side note, it was confirmed by the official Transformers TCG Facebook that he is separate from Soundwave in this continuity, I suppose is a way to put it. So, Soundblaster then, a 12-star character, which means it ain't particularly cheap. But the stats are pretty good. We've got an attack of 5 or 6, which is pretty high. Health of 16, which is very high. I will be honest with you though, defense of 1 or 2 is low, and especially on a 12-cost character, we don't really like having a defense of 1 or 2. Frankly, we can do better. But the thing is, we got a couple of really nice skills we can use with it, which make us a little bit happier. So in bot mode, when this attacks, you may play a weapon with a black icon from your scrap pile onto this. Now this is in addition to your usual upgrade. So you can play whatever upgrade you want during your turn, and then in addition, when you attack, you may play a black icon weapon from your scrap pile onto this. And the good news is that because it's when you attack, you will then be able to count it for the attack you're currently on. So job's a good un. Of course, the question then becomes, alright then, what are the options? Like, what black icon weapons do we actually have that we may wish to go about and use with this? Well, obviously, me being me, I will give you a complete list of all of them in a moment. To be fair, there's only actually 7 of them. There's only 7 options we've got at the moment. And when I say 7 options, I really mean 6. I don't think we can count Unflinching Courage. It's an upgrade weapon from Wave 4. I don't believe it's one we've talked about before. But although it's got a black icon and it is a weapon, it cannot be put on Decepticons. So, you know, probably don't go that one. But as far as I'm concerned, there is one option here which is significantly better than any of the others, and it is RR Disruptor Blade. Now, RR Disruptor Blade is an upgrade weapon, and it's got a black icon, so we're good. And it gives you +3 attack. Now, to be fair, it's not quite as good as a +4 that we might get from something like Grenade Launcher. And like Grenade Launcher, when you attack, it falls off. Now, that's not a guaranteed thing. Grenade Launcher always falls off. RR Disruptor Blade falls off only if you don't flip a black icon. But the thing here is, it doesn't matter whether it falls off or not. It's kind of irrelevant. Because you see, if it falls off, then it will be in your scrap pile, so the next time you attack, grab it out your scrap pile and reattach it. And that's one of the things that makes RR Disruptor Blade, as far as I'm concerned, the best option for this, because you're essentially getting rid of the only downside of playing that card, and it is a pretty good card. Obviously, if you could use this with Grenade Launcher, it would be better, but I still kind of like it. Now, in terms of other options here, very quickly, we've got Combat Dagger that gives you Bold 1. It's not particularly good, but it's underpowered because it has both the black and the orange icon. We've got HV Electron Breacher, which has the black icon, and it gives you +2 attack. Now, this is Decepticons only, but it doesn't really matter because RR Disruptor Blade is just a better option. Now, the only real difference is that HV Electron Breacher doesn't fall off when you attack, but it really doesn't matter because either way, when you attack, you put it on Soundblaster, so it really doesn't matter. We've got Smoke Thrower, which gives you Bold 2. If you're playing an orange enough deck, Bold 2 might be better than +3 attack. Generally speaking, you're better off with a +3 attack. Crowbar gives you +2 attack and is scrapped after the battle, which sounds really bad, but remember it's got the double black icon, so although Crowbar is weaker than RR Disruptor Blade, it has the extra black icon. And speaking of double black icon cards, Indestructible Sword gives you +2 attack, and when it is scrapped from a character, you return it to your hand. Again, it's got the double black icon. So really here, as far as I'm concerned, it is a no-brainer. Sometimes with abilities like this, we look at it and go, well, you can go this, this, or this. As far as I'm concerned, you want RR Disruptor Blade. There is an argument for going something like Crowbar here. Maybe. I mean, certainly when we look at HV Electron Breacher, which gives you +2 attack and has 1 black icon, against Indestructible Sword that has +2 attack and 2 black icons, and it goes back to your hand when it is scrapped, seems kind of pointless, but do please remember that Indestructible Sword is a star card, and Crowbar also gives you the +2 with the double icon, but it is scrapped after the battle. So maybe you go HV Electron Breacher purely because you can attach it to other characters and it doesn't get scrapped. But no, you go an RR Disruptor Blade here. So as we flick ourselves into alt mode then, what do we find? Well, +1 defense, -1 attack, as we get quite a lot on these characters. But when you flip to this mode, you may move a weapon from this character to one of your other characters, and if you do, that character gets +1 attack until end of turn. That's kind of awesome. Now, this would actually be really fun to use with Grenade Launcher, because what you do is you attach Grenade Launcher to Soundblaster, and then you immediately flip into alt mode, which then moves the Grenade Launcher from Soundblaster to one of your other characters, and it only moves from Soundblaster to another, not from another to Soundblaster or from another to another. It is a one-way thing from Soundblaster to another character. Then all of a sudden, instead of granting the +4 attack, you'd end up with +5 attack, and that's pretty awesome. I mean, the real question here is whether we actually want to commit to having a black piercing deck, because then you're kind of stuck with those weaker ones we looked at before. You're stuck with things like HV Electron Breacher as long as you're not playing Autobots, etc. And you still get +3 attack from this. But what you really want is to be boosting a +3 to a +4 or a +4 to a +5. Either way, I love the fact here that we have the option of moving upgrades across, and there's basically two ways to play it. Either you put the upgrade on Soundblaster and immediately move it to just boost it entirely, or you no longer need a particular upgrade on Soundblaster, so you move it over. Though do remember it is only weapon here, so you do have to move across a weapon. But I love the idea that, oh, well, I don't need this weapon anymore. I'm going to attach a new weapon to Soundblaster, scrapping the old one. Oh no, wait, I don't need to anymore. I can move it over and then I don't lose it. That is pretty cool for me. Now, you are a spaceship here, which does give you access to unconventional flying object. In Wave 3, we finally got ourselves a little bit of love for spaceships, and this is actually really nice. It flips a spaceship to bot mode, and then back to alt mode. Now, it only goes spaceship to bot, and then winds up back in spaceship. But that's still kind of cool. I mean, if you want to end up in bot mode, play this, and then flip. If you want to end up in spaceship mode, you flip, and then play this. And what this really does is it just activates your alt mode skill. Playing this will allow you to move over the upgrade because you're flipping to bot and then you're flipping straight back to alt, so it is a nice way to just activate the skill. It's basically what unconventional flying object does. You end up back in the same mode you started, but you've activated a skill in the meantime. It is also worth mentioning here that you are a specialist, which gives you access to all of those lovely specialist upgrades that let you do more stuff. We got multi-tool and multi-mission gear, but my favourite of the three is field communicator, because multi-tool and multi-mission gear let you play an extra action and an upgrade, and that's fine. but you've got to have them in hand to actually use them, whereas Field Communicator lets you play the top card of your deck, so you get to play an extra card without having to have it in hand. I am a big fan of Specialists, they're very nice. So there we go, you've got to be going heavy weapons and you've got to be going with some black icons, but remember, as I mentioned in a lot of videos, it is more likely that you'll flip a particular action or upgrade while attacking or defending than it is you'll draw into it. So here, you can literally play like one RR Disruptor Blade, flip it while attacking or defending, hopefully you hit it early enough, and then just attach it from the scrap pile every time you attack. That really does give you an option. Is it worth a 12 cost? I'm not 100% convinced it is. I don't think it's quite as powerful as some of the other 12 costs we've had, but plays around with weapons, is a specialist, certainly worth a test in my book. But I'd like to know what your book says, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk about games, Transformers, but a bunch of others. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts every week, and so on. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.